Hi everyone, my name is Elizabeth, I'm a marine biologist and we're going to get straight into it today with a guided tour of a rock pool. We have jumped straight in because we have a very, very compelling fight occurring today in today's rock pool between this gorgeous snail and an urchin. On the left, we have a flat top shell, and in the right-hand corner, we have a green sea urchin. Oh, the green sea urchin is making the first move. It's using those tube feet to kind of scope out its opponent. And what do we have here coming on the left? We've got someone from the crowd has joined onto the stage, a tiny little shrimp. I can see the little, it's having a go at the referee. There's a little crab under there. I'm thinking it's going to be the referee. Oh, and as this is going on, the flat top shell is really losing its grasp on the thing. The urchin is just pulling it away from the rock. What is going to happen? And we are going to cut away because this goes on for ages and I'm going to sprinkle it through the entire video. So in this rock pool today, I found a sea slug, which I love. I always love a sea slug. This, I'm pretty sure, is an Onchidoris, or whatever it is. There's a few species of them. They are just so cute, and I like the fact that they're called Doris is in their name, and I always call them Doris because this just looks like a doily, and I feel like someone that's called Doris has got a doily in their house at all times. I think it's a requirement. So. Oh, I just think they're so nice. The little tiny fluffy bum at the back there that it's using as gills to get oxygen into its body is just the sweetest. Can you spot the crab in this next shot? Right there, right in the middle, is a broad-clawed porcelain crab. They are incredible hiders and very chill. And this, of course, is a gorgeous common starfish. But it's time to cut back to our fight because we're right in the midst of it now. The green sea urchin seems to have quite a hold on this top shell, but this is a perfect chance to see its anatomy. So you see this little circle there? That will actually is kind of like the end of the snail, the bottom where the muscular foot is. But when it retracts its body into that shell, that's kind of acts as like a seal, like a cork right at the end. Given that this is a rocky shore creature, that means that it is out of water some of the time. Having that really good seal is really, really important for keeping water in the body. But, we can't count the snail out yet because it has managed to use that really big muscular foot and maneuver itself back down to attach to the rock. It's going to be using its suction to try and stay down and fight against the sea urchin taking it up. And you can also see, and the little crab's moving into better view to make sure that there is no foul play here. But you can see these little tentacles that are waving about, and I wondered what they were. Now the two at the front are like what's called like its head tentacles. Now this is going to be used for feeling about and helping with sensory direction, but the rest of the little ones behind are actually known as epidodal tentacles, and I imagine that they play some role in sense around it, but from what I've looked up potentially in top shells, they're kind of less important. Now the urchin is making a second attempt. It is trying to grab that shell up. How will this end? But for now, we're going to make an excellent transition as we have a look at some sea hare eggs. Each one of those little dots has the potential to grow into one of these gorgeous, very sluggy sea hares, but they're actually sneaky snails. If you want to find out more and find out about the weird mating things, go check out this awesome video I've got up here. This incredible starfish on the left is a blood Henry starfish, and on the right was a brittle star. Now a blood Henry starfish is one of the rarest starfish you can find in the UK. They're usually found offshore, so you can only really find them on one of the lowest tides. But they are absolutely gorgeous and the spitting image of Patrick from SpongeBob, so I'm super, super happy about that. A complete bonus of this trip was a baby blood Henry starfish. Oh my goodness, I'm really trying not to squeal and hurt everyone with wearing headphones. This is a gorgeous scale worm. Look at those iridescent scales that form this just gorgeous worm that scuttles around the seashore. And this is also another worm called Polynemlia nebulosa. It's called nebulosa because when it stretches out its orange tentacles, they look a bit like constellations. You know what? I don't actually know if that's true, but that's what I'm going for, and that's what I might have been told. And it's true, it does. I have a video of that as well when they're fully stretching out, but I love finding these worms. They just seem like something out of another world, and totally amazing. Now when you live in the sea and in rock pools, there's lots of things that can eat you. It helps to camouflage in, and so I introduce you to the chameleon prawn, who is just gorgeously blending in with the sea oak seaweed. You really need a beady eye to catch these, and it's just chilling there. What a cutie. Spider warning quick, turn off if you don't like spiders. Honestly, I have no idea what this species is, and I was as shocked as you are to be seeing a little spider floating around and crawling around. And this wasn't the last time this happened this summer, so there's gonna be a video from me in the future being like, why spiders are you around? I have absolutely nothing against spiders, but to be fair, I would always prefer seeing a nice little crab scuttling along than a spider. Or one of these gorgeous Bluray limpets. They are not moving very fast at all, which is great because you can just stare into their blue pretty stripes and just go, wow, this is stunning. Thank you for existing. Now this chunky boy anemone is a dahlia anemone. They have warts on the outside, which is how you can kind of tell them apart from some other species, which are often covered in all this kind of marine sand and debris. Which I'm also going to talk about the urchin snail fight for a bit as well, in that the urchin isn't kind of stealing the snail away for food. What it's actually doing is similar to this anemone, is it's collecting shells and different things for like protection and just being hidden, even though it has all those protective spikes. And so that is actually what it's kind of doing, and the fact that the snail is still living in the shell is just kind of, I think, an accident. And this is some beautiful footage of a brittle star just crawling around. These are really mobile, but they're usually mobile because when you turn over a rock, they really don't like light. They will immediately seek kind of darkness because that means protection. That is what is protecting them. This is an amphipod, which, if you are a marine taxonomist, I hope you'd agree that these are an absolute pain to ID. There's so many species of amphipods in the UK that you get down to like looking at the hairs on their leg. But it's quite awesome to see them kind of zipping and darting around. They're very active a lot of the time, and this one was just walking around, which I haven't actually seen before, probably investigating for any bits of crumbs and lovely food that it could eat between the hydroids there on the rock. Amphipods are crustaceans, and so are their cousins, the prawns, who are always wanting to be in front of the camera, on your wellies, saying hello. They are bold and confident and just one of the coolest species you can find in a rock pool, and so much fun. Next up on the Rocky Shore are our favourites, or one of our favourites, hermit crabs. They are cute and they are grumpy. On the grumpy front, let me introduce you to, I'm going to call them Bill and Ben. Bill and Ben, the very grumpy hermit crab men, because if you watch hermit crabs for long enough, if you're rock pooling and you're lucky enough to be able to rock pool somewhere where there's lots of hermit crabs, there will often be 10, 20, 30, up to hundreds of hermit crabs in a rock pool, depending on how many is there. And they just like to wind each other up. They don't like to be in each other's space very much, but they all kind of congregate together because it's kind of easier to be where the food is. They're a bit clumsy because they don't actually make their shell. They borrow the shells off of dead snails, so that would be like a little winkle, 2 winkle shells there. And these two are very similar in size as well, and I'm wondering as I watch this whether not only are they probably fighting a bit of the food that's there, they're probably combing through that to eat all the little nutrients and kind of like particles and stuff that they can kind of shout about, but they might also be fighting for shells. So hermit crabs will, if another hermit crab has a nicer shell that might fit their size better, they sometimes try and like swipe it off their backs. I think they're mainly arguing more about food, but this just carries on. They are just so grumpy and keep getting in each other's way. Like, the solution to this is to move out of each other's way. There's a whole rock pool there for you to explore. Oh, I can't believe we've had 2 fights. Basically 2 fights in one rock pooling recording session. Amazing. After so much fighting, let's just take a moment to go back to the cube. This is a tiny little top shell. Look how teeny it is. We're going to finish off the rock pooling today with these gorgeous, well, a couple of gorgeous fish species that were swimming around before we find out who was the winner of the ultimate battle between topshell and urchin. These fish are baby blennies. They're absolutely stunning in the rock pools, especially because they have those little splashes of iridescent blue. They tend to stick to darting around and landing on rocks, sitting in seaweed. They sit closer to the bottom of the rock pool. You will see them swimming up and down and around, but mainly that's to move to get to a better position where they're kind of sitting in one typical spot. But these are 2-spot gobies, and they, although in this case are chilling at the bottom, they are usually swimming around close to the surface of the water, and they are particularly difficult to film because their camouflage means that the camera doesn't want to focus on it. It's so incredible that they've just adapted to the point at which, like, you can see the camera like struggling to keep focus on it. And I love it so much. I've had to really practice filming these, and it's always fun to try and get it just about in focus before it loses it again. I just think they're absolutely stunning. But it's time for our winner! Let's have a drum roll, please! Did the topshell versus the urchin? Get your votes in the comments now, because the winner is the urchin. Very much the urchin. That's poor snail. Who knows? This could be a very energy efficient way to commute. We don't know. I'll see you next time in the next video. Huge thank you to my patrons. If you want to support me and my channel and join the Marine Mumbles family, head over there for exclusive content and to get your very own awesome sea creature drawing to appear at the end of each video.